Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe. All of those things, all support to the channel is very much appreciated. And in this video we are taking a look at the Build-A-Figure of Controller from Marvel Legends. And here we go, here's the back of the box. Here are all the figures that I have reviewed that make up the Controller Build-A-Figure. So let's jump straight in and take a look at the figure itself. Now I'm going to build it on screen just so you can see how easy or hard it is to put together. You've got both the left and right arms. One of them is holding his controller discs. You've got left and right legs. Now they pop in really easy. I've said this before in previous videos, but compared to some of the older Build-A-Figures where you had to heat up parts and stuff to put them together, these newer Build-A-Figures are designed so much better. So as you can see, I've just popped the arms and the legs in really simple without really applying too much pressure at all. Now I have to say that this Build-A-Figure here, without the head on him, looks a lot like a hench Skeletor. It's a very similar colour palette. I really like the contrast in kind of gloss that they've used on the shoulder pads and the matte kind of finish that they've used on the actual body as well. Now for those of you that don't know who the controller is, it's a guy called Basil Sandhurst, and he is essentially a mad scientist like they all are. And he was crippled in an explosion and he built this exoskeleton to enable mobility. And it also gave him like super strength and all the rest of it. And he uses these things called controller discs. Now these, you can see them there, they're in his right hand, and essentially he puts those on people and then he can control them, hence the name, the Controller. Now predominantly he's an Iron Man villain, but he has shown up in a whole bunch of different comic books and whatnot. He's also shown up in a few televisions and computer games as well. Here he is next to Speedball and Iron Man Mark 70 from the same wave. You can see he's a good oversized figure. Now I like Build-A-Figures to be that little bit bigger than the figures that you get in the wave, but not so big that it's hard to find a space for them on your shelf. So this controller figure fits in really nicely. He's got a very similar look to Thanos. It's a very similar mould to Thanos. But as you can see here, it's all pinless. You can't see any pins there at all, which gives a really nice smooth feel. I really like the shading that they've put on him, the kind of two-tone blues that you've got on his body. And as I said, I really like this gloss look in his shoulder pads as well. He is, however, one of those villains that unless you're a huge Iron Man fan, or unless you're like a completionist, not necessarily one that you would kind of rush out to pick up all the pieces for. You can see the controller discs there in his hand. Now they are stuck in that hand, so you can't actually do anything with him. You can't take them out, and yeah, they're just there. So it's a nice little detail. But yeah, I'm really pleased that we've kind of got the controller. He's one of those characters that is a bit obscure. I didn't really think we'd see a figure of him, but the design of him is simple enough that there's obviously a lot of reused parts here in regards to molds and stuff. He's definitely not my favourite Build-A-Figure of 2022, but I can't complain. He's very well put together. He's got a really detailed head. The face sculpt on him is really detailed, and he's very comic book accurate. He comes from the late 60s, early 70s era of comic books, so he has that very overly muscular look, but a very kind of basic look as well. So yeah, I'm glad I've got him, but you know, if you're not a huge fan, there's no need to kind of run out and grab him. Every single figure in the wave comes with a Build-A-Figure piece except for the Iron Man Mark 70, which of course is a little bit ironic because predominantly he's an Iron Man villain, and a Build-A-Figure piece comes with every single figure in that wave except for Iron Man. But yeah, I mean, because of the controller discs in his hand, I suppose he is a little bit limited as to kind of posing and displaying and figure photography. But he's cool. I like him. I definitely wish I'd pulled Thanos out to have a look at side by side. But if you think of the classic, what Thanos was it? It was the classic deluxe Thanos that we got recently. It's a very similar look. Now, they're not identical because Thanos has details in his gauntlets and his gloves and his boots, etc. But it's a very similar look with the big shoulder pads, the kind of skin tight body suit, if you like, and the big gloves and the big boots. So yeah, so all in all, he's a cool bath. Pleased that we got him. Definitely worth picking up if you're a completionist or an Iron Man fan. thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate all of the views. Let me know in the comments if you've got any thoughts on this particular version of controller. If not, please do like, share, subscribe, and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated, and I'm looking forward very much so to picking up the next wave of figures, which is the Bone Breaker wave. So stay tuned to the channel for that wave of figures. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Until next time, I'll see you soon.